Hey guys, it's Danny. So today I thought what I would do for you is a voodoo style witch doctor makeup. So for this they traditionally have a skull shaped face. So I'm just using a white eyeliner pencil here just to plot out the shapes of the skull. So this is the eyes, the cheekbones, the nose and also the lips. And as you can see here with the nose, I'm doing a traditional skull shape. So I'm actually going to leave the top in two little points, and I've created a square at the bottom of the nose on the cupid's bow as well. I thought this would add a little extra detail to the makeup. And then I'm just making a line from my lower lip down to the bottom of my chin. So at this point you want to take a white face paint. I'm using Snazaroo Clown White, and I'm just using this on a stippling brush to start off with, and then moving on to a foundation brush just to fill in all of those details in the areas that we've just drawn out. You want to leave the bottom jaw completely free of any makeup because we're going to add more detail in there later on. And I'm just thickening up that line at the bottom of my lip as well. Now I'm just setting the makeup using Ben Nye's Super White Face Powder, and this is just going to lock all the white colour in. I'm then taking Snazaroo's Purple Watercolour Face Paint, and I'm just going to use this to fill in my eye sockets. You haven't got to worry about it being too neat at this point because we are going to add more eyeshadows on top of this later on, so don't worry at this point if it does start to crease. So you now need to do that to both eyes. Once you've done that, you then need to take Sugarpill's Poison Plum eyeshadow, and you want to press that all on top of the purple that you've just put on. And now what I'm just doing is taking a black eyeshadow by Kiko, and I'm just going to deepen up those eye sockets a little bit more. So I'm going to concentrate the colour first of all on the inner corner of the eye and also on the outer corner, and blend everything through. And now I'm just taking a very, very small artist brush, very fine brush, and I'm just going to kind of go around those lines and neaten everything up a little bit more. Plus this is going to add a bit more depth into it as well. Okay, so now it's time to do the temples. So what you need to do is create two C shapes at the side of your head, and I'm using the same purple face paint by Snazaroo. And then I'm just taking a blending brush and just buffing that colour into the temples and blending it out towards the back of my head. Now I did notice that this colour was a little bit too intense, so I took a very wet brush and added a very small amount of white face paint to it, and then used this to soften that colour up a little bit. And then what I'm doing is taking the same black eyeshadow by Kiko, and I'm choosing this to deepen up those temples a bit where the hollow is. So I'm just putting that down and blending it out using the same blending brush. And once you've done this, I'm now adding the stripes to the head. So this is really self-explanatory. You get the purple face paint and you create two lines down your head. I've also just went over it with a stippling sponge just to add a bit more texture and detail. Again, same eyeshadow, same black eyeshadow by Kiko, just darkening the front of those stripes. And you just need to fill in your nose, again, using the same face paint, and you just want to fill in the whole area. And don't forget to do the little square just underneath your nose towards your cupid's bow. Okay, I'm adding a bit more black eyeshadow here as well, but I've actually mixed it with a little bit of the Poison Plum to try and get this purpley colour. And I'm taking that same colour, the same purple face paint, just to create these lines here on the lip. So this is just a little detail. It's kind of like Skull's teeth, but this way I haven't got to add all the detail in. You know I'm not very good at teeth. So you want to create these lines and then fill it in with the white face paint as well, just to kind of complete that look. And then taking that same purple face paint, you just want to fill in the rest of your jaw and your neck. Oh, and don't forget the ears. And then you just want to also use a smaller brush and just fill in your bottom lip. Right, okay, so once you've done that, what I thought I would do is add a little bit more detail onto the chin area. So I'm just taking a cotton bud and dipping it into the white face paint and just creating these dots on the chin. So once you've done that, you can then take another very, very fine brush and some black eyeshadow. I'm using the Kiko black eyeshadow here. And you want to create these frown lines in between your eyes. This is going to make the whole look a little bit more angry. And I'm then taking that same brush with the same eyeshadow and just making a very small border around the jaw, and then I'm blending that eyeshadow up and into the white to kind of create this grey gradient, which adds a bit more dimension to the skull. And I'm just doing the same thing for my eyes as well. Right, so what I'm now doing is taking Poison Plum again on a fluffy brush and knocking off most of the product, and then just blending this across the top of my eye sockets. And now it's time for the body painting. So this is really easy and super quick. You don't have to be neat here at all, as you can see. So you want to make a very, very light, thin coat of purple all over your body. Make it very patchy and splodgy. You want to be able to see your skin coming through with that. And then I'm going to take a stippling brush and the white face paint as well and go all over that as well in this sort of dotty sort of mess, basically. And then you want to basically blend that into the skin. And here I'm just taking that white paint again and I'm just going to highlight across my collarbones just to try and make those stand out a little bit more. And I'm taking the black eyeshadow again by Kiko and really roughly applying that and blending it all out. And then the final step is just to line your waterline. So I'm using a black gel eyeliner, which is by Kiko, and I'm just going to run that along my top and bottom waterline. Right, okay, so once you've done the eyeliner, the look is complete. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, remember to rate, comment and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what looks you'd like to see for the rest of Halloween, and I will see you all in the next video.